boys and girls. Are you all ready for our Valentine's party? Yes! I'm going to be your host tonight, Ailish, and I am joined with Ben and Keego.
Hey!
Wow. What a start. It was just a bed and a door opening. It was very similar to a student film accident starting in college.
And can I just congratulate each and every one of us that was a lot of technical things that happened there, and we did it really well.
That's what like when you have a good team, lads. When you have a good team. Yes, welcome everyone to our Valentine's party, or Galentine's, or Happy Thursday, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I am joined by these two lovely men beside me. I'm trying to do the opposite hand. And I guess, how's your week been so far, guys? Keego, how's your week been?
You know, we get asked that every week, and I don't have any idea how much time has actually passed since we last talked. I have no idea. I think it was grand. We're still here. We made it to another week, and there'll be some funny stories to have this evening. How was your week, Ben?
Yeah, it was all right. It was the same old shit. It's just I'm really aware. This is going to get very highbrow.
Okay.
But I don't mean
Which
it.
isn't our brand at all.
Yeah, no. I'll say what I'm going to say and then say the word cock or something. But you know that is it a T.S. Eliot poem? The J. Alfred Prufrock one where he talks about a guy who measures out his life in coffee spoons. I feel like that's me. I feel like I am constantly just caffeinating myself, and then it's bedtime. That's and the only thing I need to be caffeinated for is to stare out of the window and go, should I go out for a walk? No, I don't want to go out for a walk. Anyway, cock. There we are, back on track.
There's our T-shirt for the week. Anyway, that's the cock.
Yeah. Also, can I just ask, Ailish, when you said hello to everybody, you said Galentine's Day. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
So Galentine's Day is when women are single but still want to celebrate Valentine's Day, so they call it Galentine's Day. So you give presents to your girlfriends and they give presents back to you, and you're all single and you're all straight. And yeah. Yes, Keego, you have a question.
Can I just point out, I think they might be single because they call it Galentine's Day. That might be the reason. I mean, so if we sex it up a little bit, like, you know, I don't know what you'd call it, but I'd be, if anything's called Galentine's Day, I'd just be confused and stay at home.
I mean, Galentine's Day. I mean, what I heard was the word gallon, and I was like, okay, is it about shifting booze on an industrial strength quality? Is that?
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, it's Galentine's Day. Are you celebrating the love for yourself? Nah, I'm just drinking a number of boxes of wine. That's my thing for today.
I mean, it's like the second highest sales other than Patrick's Day.
For Bevy,
I made that up. I made it up. I made that up, but I would totally agree if that was the case.
Well, happy Valentine's to us all.
Happy Valentine's.
Yes.
I've already started drinking. So we're gonna get to the drinks because I've just introduced it that way. I have already had a pina colada, a sex on the beach, a gin and tonic, a glass of wine, and then I've had vodka. So okay, Ben, what are you?
You are celebrating Galentine's Day then.
Yeah, there's your 5 a day right there. Yeah.
I'm having so first I'm having a little kind of pink gin thing, but I've put in a prosecco glass so it looks all fancy bums, and obviously when I was looking for the background, it's all roses and shit. Unfortunately, I was going to try and get dressed up like we were all on a date together, but I've ended up because the flat is so fucking cold. Putting on a jumper and a hat that makes me look like I'm in fact going to do this show and then go out and do some burgling afterwards.
Yeah, I didn't.
Like all I need is
I was going to say it.
all I need is a wee mask, and then I'm going to be. So, although I could just be like, nah, fuck it, right? No, I'm dressed as a burglar because I'm going to steal your hearts. There we are.
Oh, look what you did there. Very nice.
Oh, that got me. That got me going. Yeah, I'm on the way around.
I feel like if I showed up to an actual date with that line, the date would end seconds later. Though I mean,
women eat that shit up. Honestly, Keego, what are you having to drink tonight?
Well, first of all, I am dressed to be on a date. It's a Zoom date, so I'm basically only dressed from the waist up. So we're all on Zoom dates here. Stories about that later on. But no, I didn't start drinking at noon because I don't know why. I must have been busy. But I'm having vodka with tonic and Ribena. No added sugar. No added sugar, so it's a health drink. Cheers to your health.
Cheers to your health. Cheers.
Well,
that's done. I'm glad I have two more. I have pina colada and I have gin fizz.
Are you off tomorrow? Are you working tomorrow?
Yeah, but I just have loads of cans.
Listen, I love the fact you're going to work tomorrow and you're an accountant. So it means that you are going to lose someone like millions tomorrow. Like there's going to be a misplaced decimal point because you're fucking hungover. And then somebody's going to suddenly, the house is seized.
That's a great idea, Ben. I think I'm going to text Elo my IBAN number later on this evening. And
I'll probably get it wrong. If I've ever gone into work hungover, I make it a point not to do payments that day. I'm like, I'm not doing any payments today. No.
Sorry, boss. I'm not doing payments today. Why not? I'm absolutely lamped. Can you not tell?
No, I don't. I just say I'm really busy. One time I went into work and like my glasses. So I'm like a -5.5, and I wear glasses like Ben, and I go into work, but one day I forgot my contact lenses and I forgot my glasses, and I went into work and I was like, I couldn't see the screen. So I just told everyone, like, everyone came into the accounts department going, oh my God, we need to pay this. And I was just like, I'm actually really busy today. Like I'm really busy today. Slowest day of my life, but I didn't pay anybody that I didn't mean to pay. And I didn't own up to the fact that I couldn't see for the whole day. I was like,
Alo, we're over here, Alo. Alo, we're over here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like
I'm just over here on my invisible computer. Yeah.
And it was the slowest day of my life.
I think you've been a little harsh on yourself, Ailish, saying that you're a -5. I think you're like a 7 or 8.
Oh, thank you, babe. Thank you. I was fishing for compliments. Thank you.
Will I just leave you two to it, will I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, like if you're a -5, that's a bad eyesight prescription, and that is a bad outlook on someone who is dating you. That's
So tell me about this new bitch you're seeing. Oh, she's like a -5. No, I'm
she's
so
like
excited.
a -5. Oh my God. That sounds like a rotting corpse. Yeah, I mean,
you know, like it's like pizza. You'd eat it, but you wouldn't enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like you just. I'm so excited for the show tonight, you guys. So we obviously have Valentine's Day, and as your wing woman, this is like what I built my fucking career on about single stories. So I want to know if you guys have any bad dates or any, like I obviously have a few. Keego kind of had a spoiler last week. I'm very happy to share, but I want to know if you guys have had any shit dates. Like,
well, I feel like as somebody in a relationship, it's my obligation to say that every day I went on with another girl who's not the girl I'm with now, that was a shit date. Love you.
Of course.
I've never had an unpleasant experience.
That's a lie.
No, I've not. Like I've honestly not. So I have never. I've never been on like asked someone out, and then the next step has been a date. Like everyone that I've had a relationship with has been like a pal first, or part of a circle of either in employment or social or something like that.
Yeah.
And so rather than like that kind of like a first date and therefore like the start of a thing, it's always kind of gradually, imperceptibly moved into that thing. So by that point, everybody knows like activities that people like, and there's no real grounds for like, I've never done Tinder, I've never done any of that stuff, I've never done like internet dating, like way back in the Stone Age. So not only am I happy in my relationship, I've also been pretty happy in loads of other relationships as well. Not as obviously happy as I am now, just,
Of course.
I don't like, I can't, nothing terrible. Now, whether they share the same thing as I do, maybe I was a fucking nightmare on each and every instance, but I don't think I was.
Okay, Keego, beat that.
Wow,
Fire! Yes, I check the insights of our Facebook group on Party Tips. It's like, Neil Dwyer's your #1 fan. I was like, I never doubted that. For a second. Even Facebook is telling us, Neil, it's lovely to have you. Hello, how are you?
Tell us something we don't know, Zuckerberg. So I have a question, really. Have you ended up on a date that you didn't think you were on at the beginning of the night? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Because that's the one date I've been on in my 100 years of life, was a date that I didn't think was a date. You know what I mean? It's like you kind of organize a gathering, but then one person cancels it for everyone except for one person. And so you end up,
tease, aren't you?
No, I didn't cancel anything. I was like, oh, is everyone's late or whatever? It's like, yeah, I'm sure they'll be here later. Have more wine. I say, okay. And then it's like, there's no one else coming, is there? No, it's just us. All right. That was my only date I've ever been on, because I'm of the generation where you go to a disco and you'd line up on each side of the wall until the last 3 songs, and then you just go up along the line, go, will he give a kiss? No, and you work your way up the line until you find someone. And that's how love worked in the 80s.
Totally.
Unfortunately now
this generation calls it Tinder. Yes.
So I don't know what that is. I control alt delete all that stuff. I've no idea.
I actually I found myself on a date that I didn't know I was on. I thought the guy was gay, and we went to the cinema, and he was just like he was a guy that ran in my circle and I ran in his circle, and I was like, do you want to just hang out and we get to know each other? And he was just like, yeah. And he was so dressed up for the cinema. Like, he wore like a shirt, he wore like a blazer, and I was like, God, you're so dressed up for the cinema. And then afterwards, I was like, okay, well, you pay for the cinema, I'll pay for, like, I thought he was gay. I was so sure. And I was just like, let's go for a drink. I went for a drink, and he was just like, so is this a date? And I was just like, oh my God, I feel like the biggest bitch. Like, I didn't know. And like, of course, it probably seems like a date because you pay for the cinema and I pay for the drinks. And I couldn't go, but I couldn't go, no, mate, I thought you were gay. Like, I couldn't say that. So instead, I was just like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Like, that's another thing you shouldn't say either, yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't see it coming, and as it turned out, you didn't see it coming.
I didn't, and he didn't either. And, it's just... So
anytime a fellow wears a shirt that looks like it's been ironed, it means it's a date. If it's a jacket over that, if there's a jacket over that, it means it's definitely a date.
I didn't know that. Like,
I
go by, go ahead.
So how did he ask for the social thing to happen then, that you didn't know it was a date?
I guess I bumped into him within our circle, and then we started chatting on Facebook, and he was like, do you want to hang out? And I was like, do you know what? Yeah, like, I only see you at these parties, and I know that you come, like, it's like bumping into Neil O'Dwyer. He's at the party every week, and you're like, do you know what? Yeah, Neil, I'd love to know more about Neil. I'm like, I'd love to know more about you. And then it turned out to be a date that I didn't know I was on. That's all. But yeah, like I've got loads of fucking stories. So as you guys know, Sinead and I are doing the show Wing Woman, where we're each other's wing woman. She's a lesbian, I'm straight, and we don't know anything about each other's demographic, but it's good to have someone in your corner. I told her that I'm actually quite shy when it comes to dating lads. Like I like Irish lads because I like a challenge, but I'm actually quite shy. Like I remember there was a really cute guy that I used to work with. Like he was gorgeous, and I was too shy to talk to him. And like me, like I'm. Anyways, the girl I worked with like nudged me one day, and she goes, "You should ask. Let's call him James. You should ask James for lunch today." And I was just like, "All right, everyone's in the room, great." And turned to James, and I was just like, "Hey, James, do you want to come for lunch today?" And James was just like, "Yeah, I'd love that." And I was like, "Great, Sarah, do you want to come as well?" Excellent. Tina, do you want to come for lunch with me and James and Sarah? Okay, great. Are you coming? And like sent an email out to everybody in the office. And then I went to my friend going, "Urgh," and she was like, "Yeah, well done. Like, you got yourself the date, and then you got yourself out of the date." So that's just my level of awkwardness.
Wait, and did anything ever happen? Did you work on that? Did that no?
No, I was too shy. Like I think so. My problem, the reason why I'm single, is just like my problem is that if I don't like someone, I'm all chat to them. If I do like someone, I'm like, oh my God, like me. And I'm just so quiet. But or another time I matched with a guy on Tinder, and we were like chatting, and I went over to Brighton, and I was like delighted that I had news, because that's one of the things when you go on Tinder where all your good ideas are born. When you go on Tinder, and I was like, I'm in Brighton, and he goes, okay, cool. And I sent him, like, when I get bored, I go to the sales section of River Island or something. So I was shopping with my friends, I was bored, I went to the sales section, I tried on like a yellow feathery jacket like Big Bird from Sesame Street, and it was like, woo. And I sent him that video, and I was like, oh my God, do you think this will like go really well with our date? And I didn't hear from him. How weird. That's so weird.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Ghosted
myself. Like I just cock blocked myself. That's all. So Sinead was just like, I have to be a wing woman. You gotta get someone in your corner. And I was like, I know. And I'm also, I don't know about you guys. Have you found the other gender more attractive since you've been in lockdown? Like I actually had a crush on my dentist over the week. I was like, oh my God, you're gorgeous. Only because I haven't seen a man in all year. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. You're looking for it anywhere now, like the postman. The guy with the Amazon parcel. You're like, no, hey, I probably need to sign for this. Let me come up. Let me sign for it. Here, it's just.
Let me just slip into something a bit more comfortable before I sign this. Yeah.
Totally. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, I went to the dentist as well, and I started getting the flutters when he took the drill out. That's got 17 meanings, but no, it was a real drill. I suddenly found an interest in men in uniform and PPE gear, and I was like, oh, hello. But lockdown does strange things to you. It even changes your preference,
Absolutely. You just like, you know what? I'll get anything at the moment. And that's what Valentine's is all about.
I didn't know it was so desperate. I did not know that we need to start a crowdfunder or something to get Ailish a gigolo for the evening to just...
Gigolo for the evening. Sorry, I'm reaching down here because I have a book of so many things that, like, this is the fucking context for wing woman. Like, what is it? Oh yeah, people call me like a thin Bridget Jones, and I'm like, because I'm so awkward. All those examples I just gave of just like not getting the vibe, and I was like, well, thank you for saying thin. You know, like I am like a Bridget Jones.
What they're saying is that you have a tragic quality, but you don't even let yourself enjoy cakes. So
nah, like honestly, but like I do like Irishmen because I like a challenge. And oh gosh, I was gonna say, so do you guys remember in primary school where you all had to give like a Valentine's Day card to anybody? I don't know if it was the same in Edinburgh, Ben.
Miss Newsom.
No, you weren't.
Teacher.
You weren't. Yeah, you weren't forced to give anyone a card. You could give a card if you wanted to, but there wasn't like a school mandated program to make.
Keego.
All right, we're just gonna...
a card.
Give me a fucking card, teacher. Come on. I showed up here every day. The least you could do is give me a card.
Yeah, we're not like, it wasn't like drawing names from a hat, like going, all right, everybody. Okay, Ben, you got the Uggo. Make sure they get a card.
Make sure they get a card.
There was none of that. So this is interesting that you were made to share love as a child. That sounds wrong.
It was quite weird in my school. No, we were, so Keego, did you, before I burst into more stories, do you have to give a card or anything?
I'm trying to remember, like, we kind of did. It wasn't like names in the hat participation cards or anything. It was, you had to really love someone. So I sent my 4th class teacher a card for 6 years, Mrs. Newsom. I should have changed her name before I said it out loud there.
Sure.
But
yeah, because she's 100% watching.
Oh, well, look, the one time she tunes in, I wonder what that sexy 10-year-old is doing with himself now. It's like, yeah, I still love you, darling. But sorry, long answer. No.
I remember I once got a Valentine's Day card. I lived with the guy for like 2 years and he thought it'd be hilarious. So I got the card and I opened it and it said, "You'll do for now." And I was just like, nice. And his ma was just like, "You can't give her that. You live with her. You can't give her that." And I was like, "No, it's actually really funny." And honest.
Yeah, how soon did it all fall apart after that card?
Probably like a year after that card.
Right.
Oh, well, that's not too bad. It wasn't the card. It was his tiny penis that caused the
Definitely.
issue.
His little biro cock.
Has anyone bumped into a crush that they had in like primary school, secondary school in the last maybe 4 or 5 years? Have you met someone from your like previous life and met them now and just gone, "Oh my God, you were the person I had a crush on in school"?
I did. Go
on, Ben.
There was a girl at school that I fancied that I then saw years later, maybe a couple of years past from now, a couple of years ago. And she was working security for like a concert in Edinburgh. And I was like, I'm glad nothing came of that.
Because of how you turned out.
Time has changed us as people.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
So when were you guys in school together? In secondary school, primary school, college?
Like early secondary.
Did it change halfway through?
What happened to her?
Well, yeah, because like you can so I don't know what happens with you guys, but you can there's the mandatory period of education that you legally have to have, or then you can stay on for a couple of years after if you want to start getting qualifications to go to university. So it was that kind of that early period. I can literally hear your tits falling off with boredom. Like everybody. I should have.
It's not what
I should have planned out.
What that sound was.
It's just like
I thought someone just dropped an anvil on the main road outside. Yeah.
Same question for Keego. Keego, have you ran into that teacher, or have you ran into anybody that you had a crush on in primary school, secondary school?
Well, I'm not legally allowed to run into that teacher after the thing, but I was trying to remember because it would have been a long time ago, but I don't think I've been in a conversation with a crush from school where I hang on, right, I'll be quick. I was 12, she was 18.
Yeah.
Hey, I was 12, she was 18, right? And I did home economics in school because I couldn't do anything, and that was too hard for me as well. But long story short, you do this exam at the end of the year where you have to cook something, right?
Yeah.
And you get a helper from sixth year. And I came in with my ready-made meal, and she's helping me, and I'm just staring at her, pouring my ready-made fajitas into this thing. And she started getting quite uncomfortable because I was 12. It was my, probably my second erection of my life happened at that moment. But just speaking of Valentine's cards, because she was the Miss Newsom of secondary school. And so anyway, I ran into her at a rugby match long time ago. I had a little bit of hair, and she came up and started talking to me, and I didn't recognize her, much like Ben. Now she hadn't started doing security.
Are you the erection fajita guy?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're the guy with the beard.
There's something about you that I remember. No, but it was she hadn't changed at all, which was shockingly amazing. She wasn't doing security for gigs or anything like that. I think she was some sort of accounting or something.
I did that. We'll come back to it.
Mad. Yeah, but there was a moment where you kind of go, right, I actually would have murdered someone for this woman between the ages of 12 and 14. At what point do I bring this up in conversation? You know what I mean? Like, she could have said, go and do that. It's like you're saying, Ailish, like, do you say to people, Jesus, I had a crush on you in school? Irish men probably don't. I don't know if women do at all, but no, it was never. But if you're watching, darling, I've lost a bit of hair up top, but you finish that own sentence in your own head.
Okay, that dropped away into a melancholy that suggests like, if by the end of the series we can't put you back in contact with this girl, then we have failed. Like, we need to.
It's like a more appropriate. Oh God, I can't say that. I was going to say, but I didn't say it, so it's grand. I was going to say it's like a really inappropriately appropriate Jim will fix it, but you can't say that anymore. So what we'll say.
But did you get a number? Did you get a number?
Well, see, this was God, my name has been dragged to the muck here. It happens. It happens 47 times and you get labeled. It's terrible.
You'll be quick. That's what Keego tells all the girls.
Yeah, I tell you. Look, you won't miss anything of Strictly Come Dancing. It'll just take the ad break and I'll bring you a cup of tea. But anyway, enough of my personal life.
I mean, that is the sequence of the evening. Strictly Come Dancing. That's the show and the 3 tasks.
Yeah.
It can all happen at once, But Jesus. This show is not about me. This is about Ailish. But no, I didn't get a number because this is back in the day of landlines where phones were attached to walls. So I think it started 0128 something, and then I
Okay.
So
you got her numbers. That's the question.
Yeah. I've got a variation of numbers. Yeah, that may make
a variation of numbers. So you got a Sudoku offer. I guess. So I was asking. So I had a crush on this guy, and I made a Valentine's Day card for him, and I was like probably like 7 or 8. Like, and I had another 6 years of school after me. Made a card, stayed up all night, made it, and then like brought it into school the next day. And I was like, I'm literally just gonna throw it on his table and just run away. And this is a secret. I'm like, I'm awful with secrets. When I have a secret, I'm too honest. And he opened it, and it was just like, roses are red, violets are blue, happy Valentine's Day from guess who. And he was like, oh my God, who was this? And he ran around and he was like, who? Was it you? Was it you? And he went to me and he was like, was it you? And I was like, no. So he was like completely kerfuffled like the whole day. He was just like, oh my God, who was this? Who was this? Who was this? And then I was just like, okay, there's only 6 years left. But like, what if what if he had a little crush on me as well? How cute would that be? And so I went up to him and I was just like, I wrote that Valentine's Day card, and he was just like, shh, like down the middle, just like,
shit.
Cut the heart in half, throw it in the bin, and I was just like, I spent all night, man. I spent all night making that. Fast forward, I'm 19, I've grown tits. Okay, so here we are. I'm at a house party.
But like you know, not overnight. There wasn't just some like kind of.
You got to roll over in bed. Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah. Fast forward. I'm 19. I caught tits, and that's the thing that's happening.
Yes, that's the thing that's happening. And I was at a house party, and I was just like, I know him. And I told my friend who was the host, I was just like, I know him. It was also Valentine's Day, and I was just like, I made him my first Valentine's Day card, and it didn't go down well. And yeah, I don't want to be like, oh hi, because he'd obviously remember it. Boys don't remember shit, by the way. And the host decided to go up to him and just go, oh, Ailish remembers you. She wrote you her first Valentine's Day card, and she's too nervous to talk to you. So I'm in the kitchen, I'm getting another beer, and he follows me in, and he's just like, hey, how are you? And I was just like, no.
I'd just like to compliment you on your new breasts.
Yes, exactly.
And I was like, nah, I'm not into this at all. So it's funny who your childhood crush would be, and then when you're older, you're just like, no, I'm good.
No, children are not capable of making any decision at all.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time thinking about things that you did when you were young and going, for fuck's sake. I mean, why? You know when they have like people offer you that theoretical question, what's the one thing that you'd tell yourself if you could go back in time? I wouldn't be able to go back in time. Like a robot, my head would fucking explode trying to find what the one thing that I wanted to correct about my life would be. I'd be like, do you know what? It's impossible. There's no one thing. If there was one thing every hour, then we're talking, and I can go right through my life again. I'd do that.
I just want to say that as you were talking about what happened on your 19th birthday, Ailo, the closed captioning that we have on Facebook didn't understand every single word. So when you said I was 19 and I grew tits, it said, I tried to screenshot it, but it was gone. I was 19 and I grew question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. So it could be literally anything.
Yeah, like Facebook's just looking at you going, you call those tits?
Wow.
Excuse me, they're a lovely pair. That's why we made this fucking show. They're a lovely pair.
Yeah, you've really got to be getting high on your own supply to go, these deserve their own weekly streamed show.
Absolutely.
But technically we were only talking about the left one though, weren't we? So there's only wasn't it
the left tit, the right tit. The right tit is just like no. Like it's like angel devil is just like no, you can't be doing any of that. It's a sensible tit, isn't that right, Ben? It's like the sensible tit, and then you have your party tit.
Yeah, instead of the angel and the devil, it's just just a pair of breasts over your shoulder freaking you out, like a nipple poking you when you do something good or bad. Hey, don't do that. Just leave me alone. What an image. What a fucking image.
I believe we have a surprise for the people this evening. So one of the tits has a bit of stand-up. It's not me, but one of the tits has a couple of bit of material that we are going to clear the stage for. We're going to watch and we're going to enjoy. And I want everyone to go crazy for Keego!
Oh, wow. Oh, look. If it's
Keego stand-up bit. Keego stand-up bit. Whoop.
What?
It's only real if you get a theme tune. So thank you very much. Now, we're talking Valentine's Day here and the things we've done or haven't done for Valentine's Day. And for legal reasons, I'm going to say this is a story about a friend of mine. So years and years ago, my friend told me that he was going to surprise his lady friend by waxing his party area. waxing. I just hear moaning in the background. Someone's Valentine's Day is going really well. But no. So he found it on Groupon anyway. So he shows up to this beautician, this nice small Dublin girl, right? And he shows up and he says, "How are you? Listen, here's the story. I need the bits waxed just to make it look newer and to surprise my missus." And she goes, "Okay," thinking it's grand. So they go into the back room and they start talking. And the thing about him was he had started losing his hair up here from the age of about 7. I guess when I say it's a friend of mine, this story is falling apart already. But no, he started losing his hair. Started losing his hair up here from the age of about 7 months. But from nose to toes, he's a gorilla. And so the lady didn't know this. So they go into the back room, and he was telling me this is what it looked like, right? So it's a bit awkward. So I'm just going to show you, right? So he's up here in the stirrups, right? And they're trying to have a normal conversation, you know. It's
nice.
Like, yeah, me too. I prefer Christopher Nolan's earlier work, you know, all this sort of stuff. But he knew it was going to take a while. Jeez, there's a delay on my other screen, and that is frightening. But no, there's a. but the reason he was a gorilla became clear because after a couple of minutes of waxing, this is what he saw. He just saw her little face peering up from below the equator, sweat dripping down, hair matted, tears. She was going through it, you know, and she actually said that she had to take a break right then and there. She had to take her lunch hour right there. And so she came back an hour later. My friend is still with his legs in the air. She finishes the job. Now, the upshot is that the party area looked like a well-cooked Christmas turkey, nice and smooth. The main issue for the lady in question who was doing the job, she ended up with tennis elbow. That's how much work she had to do. So that was my things men do for women on Valentine's Day, volume 1. Tune in next year for volume 2.
Keego's stand-up bit.
Yay! Excellent.
There was a number of bits that I really enjoyed there. Firstly, when you leant back and you put your legs in the air, it didn't actually look like your legs. It looked like, you know, in adverts where it's like arms with some shoes on it, and it's like, oh, it's like something a puppeteer. And also, I like that when you're shaved, it still looks like a well-cooked Christmas turkey. I mean, it still looks like it's hairless but delicious looking. That's still a man who looks after himself, you know. My
T-shirt for next week is hairless but delicious. So yeah. So Miss Newsom, if you're watching, 4th class teacher, just saying, hairless but delicious.
Hairless but delicious looking.
Oh, that was gas.
That works. I was like, what would be if we did a little title sequence? What would we do? And I went for, like, this is the image that everybody uses when they're putting on like a half-assed stand-up night, isn't it? It's just that red curtain with the microphone. So I thought that would be, there we go. So
it's great. You did a lovely job.
Wow, can you imagine if any of us came off stage and then somebody said, "You did a lovely job," and like, oh, okay. What a compliment.
Well, imagine a woman going telling the man, and then the man goes, "You did a lovely job," and she's just like,
"Hey."
Versa. Yeah, when is the right time to say that? Yeah, you know, it's like, oh,
you did a lovely job.
I did a lovely job.
Hey, you needed to finish before I did, but that's okay.
Is it not the intonation though? Like if you say it like, "Oh, you did a lovely job," that's creepy. Whereas if you go, "You did a lovely job,"
it's always creepy.
So
okay.
That selection of words, like you can say it, and yeah, fine. Oh, you did a lovely job. Yeah, it sounds creepy, but the way you said it the second time, it was like, the sex was good. It was like eating a big pie, is what you made it sound like. I mean, that was a fucking lovely pie.
Yeah, a lovely pie.
my stripy bottoms, not my stripy bottom, but my stripy bottoms are getting a lot of attention in my DMs. So there's a lot of the lockdown horn is strong amongst our audience. So
It is
yeah,
strong. Like I can vouch for it. It's strong. I think people are gonna come out of lockdown like horses out of Cheltenham, just bang. Like the single people are just gonna like bang, like pop out. And I'm here for it. I'm so here for it.
well, the bed is right there every week. You know what I mean? It's not.
Right?
It's subliminal messages. You know.
It's tidy. It's blue. Any day now.
I'm booking for a wax next week.
Two things I look for in a bed.
I'm booked in for a wax next week.
Exactly. Now I was just like, has anybody? I think like, does anybody have like a romantic story that they want to tell that kind of stayed with them? Loaded question, but does anybody have a romantic story that kind of stayed with them that they want to tell on Valentine's night?
Yeah, I was actually on a boat, and I was sleeping in the bottom deck where the poor people sleep, and I met this woman who was very rich, and we kind of had this connection. We did a couple of dances.
You're talking about the plot of Titanic. Like don't you dare, Celine Dion coming in with her Fat Oak Stone. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you dare, okay? I see you. I smell it.
It's purely coincidental. It was on the Stena ship over to Holyhead.
No.
Okay. I've been rumbled.
Does anybody have any romantic stories?
Should I do? I probably do. I don't know if my girlfriend's watching the show. Maybe she could prompt me if there's anything. No, I'm sure I've been a good boyfriend at some point. What did I do recently? I bought a VPN so she could watch The Block. She loves like a show called it's not really, but I think she appreciated it. That was the thing I did. It's like an Australian show where they like just build a house and she loves it. And I was like, Brexit has stopped us being able to watch it. So I was like, there's got to be an illegal way to make sure my love can see the show that she likes.
Well, that's romance. Romance is also a cup of tea. If someone makes you a cup of tea, that's like, love you.
Yeah.
And you took the bins out last week, Ben. I heard about that.
I'm never done taking the fucking bins out.
Well, you can't get out the front door. They're left at the front door. It's like, well, you know, what happens if you walk outside with the bins? Like,
well, I'll tell you what. That's so I've got a joke, which is which came first, the chicken or the egg? In a way, it doesn't matter. They both smell fucking awful when you've left the bins for 2 weeks, and that's the situation. That's the situation that we found the other day, and I was like, this is really smelly. I'm going to remove the bins before she comes home because I don't want her to smell that horrid smell. And that was
romance, my friend.
Look at me. I'm a fucking catch. Hey. Oh my word.
That's it. Like, people watch fucking Notting Hill and About Time and fucking Titanic. That's what actual romance is. Sophia, Titanic is a great example where just the tip can get you into a lot of trouble. Sophia, why aren't we like friends on Facebook? Because I think we're all ready to get along. That's all I want to say. Like, thank you for tuning in tonight. Yes, just a tip. We're getting you into a lot of trouble, guys.
Especially on a crowded ship as well. You know, Sophia knows what the story is. Sorry, any romantic? Jesus, do I look fucking romantic? Wow. Well, I was going to tell a really romantic story, but you rumbled me there. I'm just, I went on a date once and we had a plate of spaghetti. And we
Lady and the Tramp. I'm not having this. I'm not having it.
No, you're right. I remember taken a girl on a magic carpet ride above
Oh,
Istanbul,
that's where I was going.
and
Stop
the
that.
carpet
Stop
was
it.
alive.
Stop telling
and
me the plots of Disney films. I'm not into it.
we're going to save that for next week. We're going to save that for next week.
I just remembered another one. When I was young, we got a nanny, and she had a really big bag, and she kept pulling stuff out of the bag, and it was just the way she looked at me, and
Mary Poppins, stop that.
she ended up being my fourth class teacher.
I remember going out with a boy who was found in the jungle, and his only friends were a bear.
We are getting ahead of ourselves.
We could never get into a restaurant because he only wore a loincloth. He didn't have like a tie or any smart. It was a fucking night. In the end, we just had to like get like takeaway, and he didn't know how to eat it. He kept like sitting on top of the cupboard. It was a fucking night.
No, we're not having that.
No. This is my favorite part of the show since we started. Trying to be romantic, but stealing really crap
Disney film plots, and Ailish having none of it and just shouting no.
I remember.
Recurring
in all seriousness, I do remember speaking to a girl who I
remember speaking to a girl
who I thought ghosted me because I didn't hear from her for ages, and it was only when I was in the shops the other day. And I met a mate of mine called Dopey, and he said that him and his 6 other tiny pals had actually looked after her because she'd eaten a poisoned apple as she was sleeping at their house.
I'm not having this.
She hadn't ghosted me at all. She was just...
Oh, Jesus. Okay, I have a romantic story.
Yeah.
This is all a big ruse to get around to Ailish's romantic story. Go on.
We've also got a cool video as well, just as a reminder.
It would have been a cool video. It's a fucking award-winning film, Snow White and 7 Dwarfs. Anyways, I went to Irish college. I was 13. I had a crush on a 15-year-old. Obviously, when you're 13 and 15, it's a much bigger age gap. It's just like...
Wait, this is just The Lion King. What are you talking about?
It's actually The Princess and the Frog, babes. I had a crush on him, and me being like me was just too shy to say anything, just like nothing. And on the last night, my mate, it was just like, I can't fucking deal with this. Like, I've been listening to this for 3 weeks. He has no idea. And you guys are good friends. And like, why not just fucking tell him? It's the last night. And I was just like, no, don't. So she goes over to him, and we're all sitting down on the ground in the hall, which is what you do in Irish college for the fucking crack. And he just stands up above everybody else. And he's just like, where is she? And I was like, I run outside in the darkness and I hide out there until the bus comes for like 30 minutes. And didn't want to talk to him, didn't want to confront my feelings about him. Anyways, the next day I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad we're all going home on the train to Dublin together because he's from Dublin and I'm from Dublin. We go on the train home and I'm mad at my friend. I was like, I can't believe you told him. And she was just like, well, I'm glad I did because now he knows and like whatever. And then she goes, I'm going to say goodbye to other friends that I made, like who are getting off at like me. They're getting off at Westmeath or Offaly, and I just want to say goodbye to them. I was like, yeah, go. So I was like listening to music. I was on my own, being the social life of the party that I am. And he comes by, and then he like comes back, and then he sits down beside me, and my heart is like going 90. And he takes a headphone and he just puts it like in his ear and it just listens to the music that I'm playing. And he's just like, oh, that's a good song. That's a good song. Doesn't bring it up. Doesn't say anything about it. Doesn't say, oh, I'm not into it either. He just is like, there's no point. He's just like, la, la, la. And then he just goes here, like gives me my headphone back going, just have a nice journey. And I was just like, thank you. So if Sean Hughes from Clontarf is watching, I am legal now. That's all I have to say.
And does Sean run classes by any chance on how to pick up women? If he does,
how to pick up women? I wish.
Just offer headphones. That's what I call music. Yeah.
Also, yes, Ben.
there's a nice. Do you want to do your video? I appreciate this.
I was about to. Yeah, I was about to introduce it. I was going to
cool.
say. There's a guy called Killian Sundry who's just hilarious on Instagram, and he made a joke about aliens coming to the planet Earth, and it was so funny. I couldn't get it out of my head. It was hilarious, and then I decided to add a little bit more to it. So I put this on Instagram today, and I turned it into, instead of an alien coming to planet Earth, like a couple alien came to planet Earth and interviewed a couple, and he actually liked it. So yeah, we're going to show the video now. Enjoy.
Oh fuck! Sorry, hold on. Wait.
Well, I have to say, I'm really enjoying Earth. I think I've had a really nice time here, and I love what you guys have done with the place.
Well, thank you so much.
So, what kind of technology have you guys invented? We've harnessed the sun for energy. We also use the wind, both of them as sustainable energies. And then we have a thing called the internet, which connects all the computers in the world, which allows all humans, if they have the correct device, to communicate instantaneously, no matter where they are. That's really impressive. That's amazing. You've done really amazing work. And how do you tell if a piece of laundry is dirty or clean? We put the clothes in our nose and then we take a big sniff.
Right, I'm just going to move things along to the female. Thank you so much for pushing us in what you called, I think you called it a hotel. We just have a question on the ventilation devices in the bathroom. We actually haven't developed ventilation systems in our hotels. What we do is we build hotels without windows in the bathroom, and the way you ventilate it is you open the door to the living space and it just touches everything. The alternative is to keep the door closed and for someone to get a bit of a surprise when they go in the next time. I'm not going to lie, this planet sounds disgusting.
Yes. And you know what? He wrote back, he saw it, he liked it, and he goes, very funny. And I was just like, ah! Like I had girl fandom going on. I was like, ah! I was thrilled.
Could that be Mr. Ailish? Could this be the
start?
Yeah.
Yes.
But before we ask our Graham to recap all the men who are, I was trying to do a blind date thing, but that hasn't been on TV for like 100 years. But before you make a choice about your man, Ailish, we have a special surprise for you, which Keego, maybe we need a bit of music for this.
What's this?
Maybe we need a bit of music. Mr. Music, do that thing that you do so well.
Play that funky music, white boy. I said that so white. I was like, is this a surprise?
Yes, it's a
song.
Sure, it's a surprise. You loved him a couple of weeks ago, and now he's back. Please welcome again the IRA stripper.
Yes! Yes! Woo, 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 woo.
The IRA stripper there, discounting the balaclava, looking like my drama teacher for some reason.
Jeannie Mac, I've never seen a more fully clothed man in my life.
But IRA
take a week.
Bye. The secret's out.
How are you, Jack?
I'm good. I feel like I was on the show like 2 weeks ago.
You have. Oh, thank you for coming back. Thank you for the street on Valentine's Day as well.
I know. Not many people get it, you know. That's lovely street.
Yeah, you could have gone slower, Jack. Just slower next time.
You were like on speed. You were like, ah!
Yeah.
I like to get. Yeah, that's what a lot of girls have said about me in the past.
Yeah,
you're too quick.
That was a stripping frenzy. That was a frenzy of stripping.
That's pure Irish genetics right there. That's the Mayo right there, you know.
Jack, do you have any news for us? Do you have anything you want to tell us?
Yeah, I'm on stripping and plugging that Rascal Comedy is doing a crossover with the Park Tits this Monday at 8 o'clock. We're doing a Valentine special as well. It'll be kind of like this show, except there's a small bit of stand-up in there as well.
Fab. Okay.
He's such a professional. It's really thrown us for a loop.
Yeah.
And
So
if you just, it's the hair. We can't see. There it is. Look at that. The ghost of Luke Perry lives in his follicles. Yeah, look at that. This is my lockdown scalp. It doesn't get any better than this.
You know, I'm rocking the Elvis stuff at the moment.
Oh, Jack, I would shave you. I would shave you while you sleep and steal it, but I
and you wear it. Actually, while it's Valentine's Day, I could do an Elvis. Wise men say only fools Russian, but I can't help falling in love with you. Oh, very much.
The tits. With the tits. Kind of falling in love with tits.
In love with.
No bad tits. No, I will not. No.
Stop it. Stop it, you.
Do you ever look at yourself on the screen and just go, how has it come to this? That preserved on the internet is you just looking down at your breasts going, no.
Well, at least we're in our own home and not on a bus. That's a problem. But
That's
just
the
the numbers since the Ras Stripper has arrived have quadrupled. So the Sinn Féin, the local Sinn Féins have tuned in.
Féin in the membrane. Des Bishop.
This balaclava in Galway. They were selling them in what's that shop called? They used to sell a bit of it. Like it was like a tourist merchandise, but they had this.
Tourist merchandise.
Yeah. I get it. Do you know what, Jack? After the IRA stripping, there was this TikTok trend where people just stand in the window of their bathroom and then everything just goes red and they're like shirts off or they're like in their bra.
Put your head on my shoulders.
There you go. And I sent it to the lads and there was another lad robbing the balaclava look. And I was like, excuse me, I thought Jack was the IRA stripper. I didn't realize.
It's very common.
I know. We just have that wide of an audience.
That's it. But you know the funny thing about that filter is you can remove it. So people like Americans have been posing nude and like hackers are removing the filter so they can see them nude.
Shut the front door.
Like, don't do the filter. Don't do it. Yeah.
I thought like why would you go naked on TikTok? Why just put your fucking boxes on?
Have you been on TikTok?
Yeah. There's talk.
Everyone's in a bikini.
More like there's talk. Everyone's in a bikini, yeah.
Lip syncing to some movie quote.
Sorry. The best thing about this conversation is me going cross-eyed and Ben's face. TikTok, yeah.
I'm trying to work out what the young people are talking about.
No,
is this
Ben
Pokemon?
is like he's got the safe word. He's just like.
Are we talking about Pogs? Is that what it is? Is this?
Well, I had Ben on my I know it's Snapchat, my podcast last night, and he said in detail he does not like TikTok.
Yeah, I can't get my head around it. I tell you what, I can. Here's a joke from ages ago. Hey, so you got your balaclava in Galway. Galway, it's it's famous for the Claddagh ring. Which I think, if you just wash more often, it wouldn't be.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Wow, yeah. Whoa.
That's why I'm consistently out of work. So.
I wasn't ready.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. So we are coming to the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. That is our coffee link. You will always find it here. Donate generously. Thank you to those who have already donated. And next week, we are going to have another party. It's our last one. And it's going to be, Thursday, the 18th of February. But it's going to be A Disney party. Oh, are we all going to dress in princesses? Who knows? Are we all going to do exactly what we did tonight and recite every Disney plot? Maybe.
Who's
we don't know.
gonna be a baldy Jasmine?
You are.
You could go as the genie, Keego.
It's also my stripper name. But anyway,
I'm gonna go as
And
the
do follow
mermaids.
Jack
duet
McKenna.
sometime.
Absolutely. Do follow Jack McKenna on Rascal Comedy. The four of us are going to be on Rascal Comedy on Monday. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, wherever your socials are. And yes, thank you for joining us on Valentine's Day. Bye.